This is Sport Talk
with your host, Zach Mason.
What's going on, everybody? This is the Sport Talk with Zach Mason. My name is Zach, and today I have a very special guest with me today, somebody who has never had a losing season at Baker High School. His record is 114-21 in his 11 years there. And just on Thursday, he announces his retirement as Baker football coach. For the first time, my guest today, former coach of Baker High School, Matt Brunson. Coach, what's going on?
Not much, man. Good to be with you.
Coach, how does it feel after hanging up the whistle after 30 years?
Nothing changed yet, but spring ball will get here and then it'll probably be a little different for sure. But just as years go, the time goes faster and faster. So, not being in charge of the weight room every day is going to be different. Then definitely it'll be different once spring rolls around.
What did you tell your players specifically the day of your announcement?
Just that there comes a time in everybody's life where there's decisions to be made. And, my 11 years at Baker has been awesome, unbelievable. And, for two reasons. One is we had great players who worked extremely hard and competed at a high level. And two is we had great coaches. And, those things aren't going to change. Those guys have been working hard. They've had a great offseason. The coaches are going to still be in place. The continuity of our staff will still be there. But, my kids now are in different spots. And at this time in my life, I just felt like it was the right time to step down and change gears a little bit. I explained to them how, for the last 30 years, I've never took a vacation other than the week of 4th of July and worked 7 days a week, pretty much through Thanksgiving. I counted up the other day, 15 Thanksgivings during my career we've played on. And so it's just been an unbelievable ride, but it's definitely time to change gears right now and just, see where the Lord leads and, what doors open in my future. But at the same time, it just felt right. I'm at total peace about making that decision. And I think our program is definitely headed in a great direction.
Now, you have made, out of the last 7 years, you've had a 72-7 record, and you've made the state semis, played on Thanksgiving weekend 6 out of those last 7 years, obviously through your style of play. What has been the reason towards your team's success in the postseason?
Again, we've had great kids at Baker that have worked extremely hard, competed at a high level. We've had a great staff, and I do think our kids get the best instruction of anybody. I'd put our staff against anybody's. But, when you get going and you have success and it snowballs and the kids expect and believe that they should win every Friday night, I think that helps, lead to the success. And, when I came to Baker, I wanted the program to be respected as one of the top, 1A football programs in the state. We achieved that, and to withhold that level, I think our guys knew the level to which we had to perform, and they bought in, worked hard in the all season, and the results showed that. So it was nothing special that I did other than overseeing a bunch of guys, man, that have worked extremely hard and coaches that were great. So, it kind of was all the recipe for the success that we've had. It's been an unbelievable run. It's been a great time to be a Gator.
Now, you talk about it's great to be a Gator, but you've had past careers at Crestview and at Vernon. For a lot of people don't even realize you coached there. What have those experiences done to help you later in your career?
Well, I think Vernon was a spot that, I took as my first head job when I was really learning to be a head coach. And some experiences, I learned from my mistakes I made there, and we got that place going. And then I was able to get the job at Crestview, and, I inherited a great staff there and learned a lot. And, through those 10 years on, at that school and that stage, I developed, I think the style of play, if you want to call it that, or the philosophy that I have now. And then when I got back to Baker, I think, I was 14 years as a head coach, and I definitely took the next step of maybe leadership and just holding their feet to the fire year round, and the work that those guys were willing to put in, man, it just was a great recipe for success. But I think the experience at Vernon, definitely my 10 years at Crestview, led to where I'm at now, and the success that we've had here at Baker. All been great experiences.
Now, you've had 5 state championships in your football career, not just coaching, but at Baker. You were 3 as a player, 1 as an assistant, and now 1 as a head coach. But the most important one was you as a father, when you won with your son, Joe, when he played running back in 2020. What did it mean to you whenever you hoisted that trophy up with Joe in 2020 when you won the state championship?
Well, my goal as a coach, as an assistant, as a head coach, as a player, man, has always been to, compete at the highest level. And ultimately in high school, that's to win a state championship. So that's what you're striving for every year. Now, for all that stuff to come together and, that team to peak at the right time. And, we had a big win over at Vernon in the third round, and then came back and beat a Sneads team in the semifinals. And the night that we beat Sneads, Hawthorne beat Madison. And I thought, man, maybe the Lord is lining this up to have a very special ending, and it did. It was, it was a God thing. And then, Joe being a senior in his class, watching those guys, I kind of was on the sideline with them during Little League, and then they moved to middle school, JV, and then for them to finish off their career, and Joe and my time together with a state championship, it was unbelievable. That was a great experience. It was definitely a blessing to be a part of.
What has been your favorite moment in a game?
Well, throughout, again, 30 years, 25 as a head coach, there is a ton of memories, and one play when I was at Crestview in 2002, we had a 4th and 3 call in overtime against Milton in the third round. And, we were playing against a team that was a little better than us. And, we stopped them to about a 4th and 5. They had the possession first, and they kicked the field goal to go up 24-21. We got the ball 4th and 3 and ended up going right eye over, toss right with a crack. And Adam Phillips dove at the pylon to go up 27-24 to advance Crestview to the state semifinals, which is as far as they had been. And then we beat St. Augustine and made it to the state championship game. That was an unbelievable play and memory that I'll never forget. Calling timeout and those guys wanting to go for it and then kind of scheming up a play, and then it worked. But, I had 4 awesome victories at Baker in my 10 years. In 2013, when we beat Northview at Northview to win the first district championship in about 12 years, we were outmanned that night. And I think our guys balled in and played unbelievable defense. And that was a huge win to get our program pointed in the direction that we're going now. In 16 at Bluntstown, we won the state semifinals. We were down. We went tight end left, trips over, tear right, reverse motion, and we ran outside veer, and Khalid pitched the ball to Junior, and a couple of receivers made great blocks. And we hit a play to put us back in the state championship game for the first time since 1993. That was an awesome victory. We beat Vernon in 2020, 7-6 at their place in a regional championship game that nobody expected us to win. That was an awesome victory. And then, like you said, the state championship win in 2020 was unbelievable too. So I've got some memories that definitely stick out, but those are just some of them that come to mind when I get asked stuff like that.
Football aside, athletic director aside, everything Baker aside, what are you going to do now that you have so much more free time compared to what you've had in the last 30 years? What are you going to do now?
Well, my wife's got us a cruise planned in June, which we're going to go on a cruise for about 5 days. And then I've always went to the mountains the week of 4th of July. I plan this year to go up there and stay for about 15 or 16 days. On Fridays of away games that I can get Mr. Martella to cover, I'm going to head to wherever Joe's playing and be a fan and a dad. And on home games, we'll leave after the game and head up to wherever he's playing at again. And I won't have to worry about, getting up early on Saturday morning and grading the film from the night before and then breaking down film on the drive while Polly's driving back and forth to his games. I mean, last year was tough at times doing both things, but they were doable. But I'm gonna put me up a tree stand. I'm gonna bow hunt in October, which I haven't done in about 30 years. And so there'll definitely be some changes,
Congratulations on the career you've had. And I can't wait to see what the Baker program has in store in the future, mainly because of what you've built. So congratulations on retirement, and good luck in the future.
All right. Thanks, Zach.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys for tuning in. This has been head coach Matt Brunson, former head coach Matt Brunson, for the first time, announcing his retirement on Thursday afternoon. Now he's going to have a long, lustrous life of cruises, going to see his son play, and just being an athletic director at Baker High School. Thank you all for tuning in today. My name is Zach Mason, and we will see you next time.
This is Sport Talk
with your host, Zach Mason.